Hey guys, Psycho here again. Now in today's video we're working on the 79 Camaro project. We're going to be taking a few things off this engine and having a look and see what we can find. So stay tuned. Alright, so the first thing everybody's going to notice is we removed the hood. I wanted to get it out of the way so it was easier to work with the distributor. I removed the hood hinges as well. I was contemplating on whether or not I was going to keep them. They function fine and all that, but I think I will replace these for new ones. Another thing we removed off camera was this washer jug. I have no idea why it was kind of just stuck here. It's kind of out of place, but we took that out anyways. And the only other thing I had done off camera was I labeled all the spark plug wires. So with the spark plug wires all labeled, and I'll show you guys how to label them. It's pretty simple, but it just goes 1, 3, 5, 7 and 2, 4, 6, 8 on that side. It's just the cylinder ordered, so that's pretty simple. Even if you don't know, it actually says it on your intake manifold. You'll see there's a number 1 there, number 3 there, number 5 and a number 7. So that's pretty simple. So we'll take a look. We'll take these off and have a look at them. Now, I have looked at the plug wires. They are quite horrible, to say the least. And I'm glad we're going to be replacing these. Because as you can tell, they're not the right lengths. They're mismatched. And some of them are just kind of, you know, wore out, cracked, pretty gnarly. Number 5 is actually, doesn't have a plug boot. It's just kind of an end. And same with this side, like it's just kind of cobbled together. We'll pull off the number 8, number 6. Try not to take the old dipstick out with us. So, see, they're just a mess. So, spoiler, we are replacing the plug wires, but that's pretty self-explanatory why. So, one thing I do like about this cap is everything stays in order, and there is one that's not meant for that, which is the number 5 plug. So I know there's going to be a hole there, so I know that matches up like that. So we can take these right out of the equation, and we don't have to worry about mixing them up. Number 5. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is pull the cap off and see what how it looks underneath. So moving on to the distributor cap itself, it's pretty simple to remove. You do have a little bit of wiring here to worry about, and then there's 4 little spring screws that hold it down, but you just pop it off. This one could be a little trickier. This side. Having a flathead screwdriver will help. I'm trying to use my fingernails. And that just comes down like so. Pretty easy. Now for the 4 screws, you can use a Phillips, but anything will work as long as you can push down on it and you're just turning it so that it releases. Jump over to this side, turn that one, turn that one, and turn that one. And just like so, comes off. Now we take a look at our distributor cap. There's some cobwebs in there, but ultimately it's fairly clean. Though these are very inexpensive to replace. And on this model, you can see that the coil is on the top of it. So it's held in by 2, what is that, 1/4 inch bolts. So we will take a look at that before we go any farther. Generally all these parts are pretty inexpensive, so you can replace them all at once, which I will be doing. Okay, and then there's our coil. On modern day engines there's a coil per plug. On the old style there's one for all 8. Coil itself actually looks in pretty good condition, which it should be. I mean, it was in a sealed position, so If we need to, we will replace that, but I think this might be fine. Now let's move on to removing our distributor from the engine. There is a little bolt right here. It's tucked away in a very awkward spot, but you can still get at it. Generally it's not too tight, and it's a 9/16 in case you were wondering. But you just kind of get in here and slowly loosen it up. Once you get this loose, now this should move. So now you can move that out of the way and you can get at it a lot easier. Once you got the bolt out, you can pull the little key thing here out, set it aside, and now this should come out lickety split. And just like so. So here's a quick look at our distributor. It's like anything else. Notice it does have a lot of dirt and cobwebs and whatnot on it. Realistically, we're going to be replacing it. I didn't really plan to replace it. I just kind of wanted to do the rotor button and the cap, do the wires, plugs, but I think we're going to just have to go a new distributor on this. Now, the next thing I want to do while we're still pulling stuff out is check to see what the spark plugs look like. So it's pretty simple, it's just the spark plug end. Get it in there, snug it up. And that one was pretty loose. Alright. Okay. So here is what the number 2 cylinder plug looks like. Pretty rusted, crap all over it. Even the plug, like I say. So these are definitely need to be replaced. These are the copper plugs, so they're the lowest of the low. You can get these pretty cheap. Just a little FYI, Rock Auto, $1.80 a plug, Canadian Tire, $4.30 a plug. Something to keep in mind. Let's go with cylinder 4. So this plug looks a little cleaner. One thing I did notice is that it is a MotoMaster TRQ69, so it's a different plug, which doesn't surprise me. Holy crap, this one's gnarly. This is another MotoMaster plug. Holy crap. So we got 2 MotoMasters and an AC Delco so far. And we have another MotoMaster plug. This one is not too bad. Looks like it was burning clean. So we got 3 MotoMaster plugs and 1 AC Delco plug so far. As for the plugs, they're getting replaced, guys. I am not running shitty plugs like that in this car. And I do have purchased what should be in it, which is the AC Delco copper plugs. I don't see any reason right now to splurge for like iridium plugs or anything like that. It's just a 305 engine. We're not drag racing. So, like I say, cheaper the better at this point. Is another AC Delco plug. Rusted again. Same story for all of them, it seems. This one's all full of crap. Oh! Tangled up. So again, same story. Rusted, a little bit of oil, some rust on the spark plug itself. Seems to be the same story for all of them. See what happens. This one's all full of oil and stuff, but looks alright, it's not rusty. And for number 7. At least we got them all out without breaking any of them. So here's the last plug, again, AC Delco. So the next thing I want to do is just start removing bolts from the intake manifold itself. I could do the valve covers next, it would be easy to get off, but I want to start at those. We can get this out of the way. So we'll start with the very back one. So for these ones here, there's a lot of like crap stuck in around them. I'm going to have to get a flathead screwdriver and just clean them out. So that is 1, 2, got one there. So there's 3 on this side we removed. We'll jump to the other side. So I cut camera there, guys, because it started to rain and I had to move my camera inside. While it was off, I did manage to get most of the bolts out. The 2 in the middle on each side, because it had a lot of the debris there, the bolts actually rotted out pretty bad. And I had to switch to one of these style sockets with the swirl in it for strip bolts. 9/16, I was able to get this one out, this one, and this one. This one here is deteriorated so bad that I actually had to go to a 1/2, and I had to hammer it down in. Now I haven't removed this yet, so I'm hoping that this works. There is no guarantee. Come on, baby. And it didn't work. Try it again. Attempt number 2. Actually, I might not even need that swivel. Yeah. Alright, come on. No, it's pretty loose. Nope. No, sir. This one's going to be a challenge. I already see it coming. Try that. I am going to get my pipe. Where's my pipe? No, not my crack pipe. My come along pipe. Because my breaker bar doesn't fit this size. Oh, look at that. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. If you ever wanted to know what victory looks like, It's right here in my hand. That is one destroyed bolt. Oh, that spent way more time at that than I needed to. But thank God it's out. So now that we got all the bolts out of this, the last thing to do is unhook this bracket, which is just 2 bolts, one by the water pump, one right here for in the manifold itself, and just move this bracket up so we can sneak down. We'll take off the belt, and now we'll just throw that right out of the way. So now in theory, this should come out. All the bolts have been removed that I can see, all the hoses, all the wiring. So it's just going to be breaking the seal, and hopefully it comes out fairly easy. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there she goes. Oh, gonna need a little bit more. A little more persuasion. I'm going to try to be as delicate as I can so I don't dump a bunch of dirt into the engine. And there you have it. So we'll take a look at the intake manifold at first. And as you can see, there's a bunch of debris there. There's some in there, a little rust. Some stuff is plugged off. This one is not too bad. Check this side here. Again, you can see a little bit of debris. Some crap there. So this is the reason I took the intake manifold off, because I did not want any of that stuff being sucked down into the cylinders, because then you're going to have a bad day. I can give you guys a quick look here. Some dirt did go in it. And look, yeah, see? And this is the reason why I didn't want to roll it over and open up the valve either, because any of that debris would have went right into the cylinders. Oh man, that is horrible. There's tons of leaves, tons of debris. That's not good. We're gonna have to get all that cleaned out. Go over here. Now the intake manifold gaskets did come off. Oh yeah, look at that. But we have spares, so not too concerned. Yeah, that one's the same. I know it's hard to show you guys on camera, but they're just plugged. As far as that, it looks all good. Some old oil that's kind of caked on, but all in all, it's not too bad. Now, the last thing I'm going to pull off this engine before we start cleaning it up is the valve covers. So you just got to get a 3/8 socket, and they're not torqued down, so yeah, this got a lot of dried on oil as well that we're going to be cleaning up before we put back on. And I'm actually going to clean this out here a little bit, just so we can keep a little dirt away from our engine. And now we'll take care of this side. I did clean it up a little bit, not too much. What's under valve cover number 2? More of the same. Dried up oil that we got to clean up before we do anything. So now that everything's apart, I've put on this little narrow bit from my shop vac, and we can clean up every one of those ports. So there's only one more thing left to do, guys, and that's to see if the engine will roll over. I have my breaker bar ready, put an extension on it with a 9/16 socket, or no, sorry, 5/8 socket. And now we're just going to see if we can turn this over. You guys ready? Turns over actually really easy. And you can see some of the valves moving. And there's the exhaust stroke for the number 1. Man, that's a small cam. And that's it. It actually moves really free. So I'm happy about that. So that does it for today's episode, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed. It was nice to be able to see if this engine's going to roll over or not. I didn't like that everything was full of dirt and leaves and nuts and all that kind of stuff. By rights, we should pull the heads off next and get everything cleaned up and see what the pistons look like and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on this because there's other things to worry about, obviously. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. This is probably going to be my last video for a while, guys. It's work season, so I'm going to be working. I'm going to be away. I won't have time to work on the Camaro. But this fall, I'm hoping to come back. Hopefully we can get either this engine running or get another engine to put in running. And hopefully we can get a few things done to the body. The hood is definitely going to be getting redone and put up until we need it. The parts I have ordered that should be here Tuesday is a master cylinder, a new fuel pump, and we got plugs and wires, a cap and rotor button like I previously said, and I also picked up, what was it? Oh, a new water pump. So just a few things or whatever that I figured I was going to need, but there's still much more to get. So anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you're liking the series or not. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And as always, thank you for viewing.